If you are just joining us, you're still onto the press reaching you live from the Abuja studio. Right now, we've been joined by a guest with whom we're going to be doing the analysis to some of the headlines we have read to you. Dokita Olamide is here with us in the studio, and with him we are going to be discussing some of the headlines. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing
Olamide.
today?
So Dokita Olamide.
Yes,
Dokita. You don't need to.
I just have to always keep reminding you.
No, you don't need to remind me. So
it's so good to have you here. Can I show you?
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm sure you've seen the unemployment rate that's currently trending. And now this headline on the Guardian newspaper says FG's estimate reduces unemployment on paper amid almost 10 million jobs deficit. Now, I think they said according to International Labour Organization, so long as you have an hour of valid work, then it means you are employed. So which made our unemployment rate drop from about 26% to 4.1%. Now, in this case, they are also talking about job deficit. Some persons are not even employed. But we keep talking about the unemployment rate dropping to 4 point something, as just like other countries. Like on the front page of the Guardian, you have even the rate of each other countries, maybe 4%, 7%, you know, like that compared to other climes. Now the question is, if our unemployment rate has truly dropped to 4.1%, why do we still have people wallowing in poverty and falling below poverty level yearly?
Well, what people don't know about our unemployment rate in Nigeria is everything about Nigeria when it comes to government is actually scam.
That's a very, very that's a very audacious statement.
Well, I actually made this statement willingly and intentionally so that should in case there's going to be any takeoff from here,
so
I'm actually ready.
Okay, just
I am an economist, I
put
always
perspective
say.
To this,
When it's
you are taking full responsibility.
Of course,
for
it is my statement from me, my opinion.
Okay.
And why did I say so? Right from the, you know very sure that I'm an economist, right? And this is what I studied, right? Back then, in the days of universities, we were told during the time of Jonathan that unemployment rate was at around 15 point something %, then later dropped to 8.2, and then later, the question I was asking is, in my own town, if unemployment rate is going to be reduced, is reducing, right? You are going to feel it from your locality, from your environment. But in my own particular time, in my own town where I hailed from, unemployment had been increasing. It has never been, we've never had a situation where we say, okay, the number of out of school, the number of people searching for job, the number of underemployment and underemployed people had been reduced. A lot of people, even our brothers that have graduated from since like 30, 20 years, are still roaming about trying to find one or two things to do. So how come are we having this one on paper? Now, as an economist, what you used to determine is your GDP one. When you GDP per capita, are you getting this now? Now, let's check. What are we having in Nigeria now compared to what we had last year, upper last year? Well, even when COVID-19 was actually, you know, COVID-19 actually opened minds and eyes of a lot of Nigerians to a lot of sectors that we didn't even believe we can actually be trailing and traveling like this. But at the same time, look at what this has cost us now. That this level that people cannot even afford 3 square meals, and you are bringing this this analysis from where? The question is from where? Who are those that are behind this? What were their analysis? What did they do? How did they come about this report?
All right, let's quickly take this call before we proceed. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling Freddy from Gov't.
All right, please join us calling.
Yeah, I want to appreciate the analyst in the studio first. It's just like he has said. Anything they say, charity begins at home. If you want to see the impact of anything you begin to eat from the destination you are. What am I saying? In essence, I was like seeing something on the internet early this morning. Like, was it in Adamawa State they imported the East harassing bosses about how many profit for this palliative of it or something of that nature. This same innocent that was, the company was branded in Nigeria here, they chased him out because it's not from the core north. Let me take it like that. It's my own opinion. Because the government in power there is not part of them. They have to chase him out, whereby if they are coupling all these vehicles in our destination, which is Nigeria here, so many people will be employed in that same company, and the tax is paying to Ghana, where he is now, will be paid into the acquisition account. But today, he's in Ghana, they are importing it. Is it a good thing? I was like watching another thing just now, whereby the Francophone, that is France, they refuse to leave Niger because of the benefit of what they are getting from Niger.
Uranium.
Look, there are so many things that have gone wrong in Africa. If our leaders refuse to be correction, I tell you, if you push a goat to the wall, it comes to a point whereby it cannot pass through the wall, it will begin to bite you. I happen to remember in the 8th assembly or in the 7th assembly where I didn't lie, I'm not a PDP, but I believe in that his word.
Okay.
He made a statement, he said Nigeria is sitting on a time bomb which can explode any time, any day, and none of them will be engulfed. I pray it will not be so. Let us try to pick up with what we have, pick up with what we are, and remember that we are somebody that we are not so be suppressing. Look, there is nothing I document. Me, I'm not looking up to them. The we that are farmers, the chemicals, the fertilizer, everything has gone high to the point that we find things that will make us to have a mechanized farm again. And we are increasing every now and then. What is the government doing? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your honest opinion. Let's quickly take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Beautiful morning to you, Alhassan. Francis, good morning.
Good morning, SND.
Good morning, on to SND from Lagos.
SND, please join the conversation.
Thank you very much. Let me give us this ample opportunity. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. I always cherish your analysis, and then even though you are the right track, I can see Mr. Francis trying to ask you, how will you say something of that nature. Let me be honest with you. Look at just of recent last week, the issue of IPPIS saga on appointing workers. That is a very good example for you to know so many things are being scammed in our political system. And remember, sometimes there are things that we need to politicize, there are things that we don't have to politicize them. And this is the situation we are today. Things that are not supposed to be politicized, we politicize them based on our selfish interests. And do you expect us to get things right? The answer is no. The answer is no. So the better we begin to proceed on building our institution instead of individuals, the more we begin to build our at least institution instead of individual, the better for this country. Now look at recently the saga of NYSC issue of somebody who happens to be a barrister. Before you become a barrister, you have to go at least for one NYSC orientation for 1 year, then coming back to the law school. Understand my point? Then before you recognize as a lawyer, where is she then? What happened? I don't know whether you understand my point. That is building institution. He's building individual instead of building institution. Then lastly, the issue of this Cameroon flooding, dam opening. Let me be honest with you. If care is not taken, believe in me, I don't pray for anything bad for our country, but we lack communal effort. In your opening presentation, you made mention something of that nature. There are things we don't expect governments to do for us. Now look at the kind of at least waste we generate annually in this country. Annually, the annual report shows that we generate at least 32 million tons of waste energy. Waste. And among these 32 million, only 20 to 30% are using correctly. the rest of the figures goes to our oceans, goes to our drainages, and so on and so forth. So when there is flooding, what do you expect? What do you expect? And this one can degenerate into, there is waste management energy everywhere in the world, and they are doing perfectly well, and they are generating to their economy. Why can't we do the same? Thank you very much. I remain SMD from Lagos.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's take Elder Zion. He's been on the line. Hello, Elder Zion. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Elder Zion.
How was your weekend?
Great, thank you.
We give you God the glory. Please, I just want to comment on the palliative that has been distributed by the federal government.
Okay.
It's a 5 billion naira for each state. Even though the governments of some states are saying that they received only 2 billion. But even if they have received the 5 billion, it's nothing to write home about. We are in a really difficult situation. You see, even during the weekend around my compound here, a whole community received 1 bag of rice. I mean, a community of hundreds of people, they received 1 bag of rice.
1 bag of rice.
Where will 1 bag of rice go? You see, the government should do something. The only thing that alleviates this problem is to get the refineries working.
God bless you.
Because this fuel of a thing is because of all this inflation going on in the country. Let them get the refineries working.
Okay.
We have about 3 or 4 of them locally. Let them, if the Tinubu government is sincere, let them get them working. What does it take to get them working? When Dokita himself is having one in Nigeria and the many outside of Nigeria, 1 person, and all these small countries, they have refineries working. Let them be sincere. Let them fight corruption. It is corruption that hinders the good functioning of these refineries. Let them fight corruption. Within himself, within his stakeholders, the National Assembly, who are those contractors, who are handling those jobs, giving to revamp the refineries. Let them put their eyes there. That is where the problem lies.
Right.
It's not giving people 1 bag of rice.
Absolutely.
Please, I'm sorry. You see, another thing that I want to mention here is the fact that upon what Nigeria spent and pleading for Tinubu not to engage in war, last week the series of threats that ECOWAS will carry war into Niger, which will affect Nigeria, already debilitated Nigerian economy, is going to affect us seriously. Please, you people in the media, you should help us cry out to this man to forget about war. Let there be settlement. Let there be diplomacy. Let there be peaceful resolution to this problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Elder Zion. Thank you.
God bless all of you.
God bless you too. Thank you. Elder Zion has said it lot. It's the same way with all of our callers.
From Elder Zion. And just because of our time, we would have loved to talk more on the inflation and the unemployment issue, but then we really need to talk about other issues. And the big one on the lips of most Nigerians right now is President Tinubu's speech at the NBA conference, and he made some remarks that has been generating a lot of comments. And he said hard decisions needed to reset Nigeria's growth trajectory. One of such is the removal of this fuel subsidy and the floating of the naira. And it says servicing external debts with 90% of Nigeria's revenue can sustain the economy. You know, servicing debt with 90% of your revenue is outrageous. He said, part of the requests the NBA made to him was for him to address insecurity and improve the economy. At the end of the day, everything revolves around security, economy. What are your thoughts on President Tinubu's remarks there? And let's not forget, on the other hand, Nigerians have been commenting him for even making out time to attend the event in person.
Well, I just want to use this medium to bring back my statement that I used to say back then, even till now, that there will always be events that will tell you, that will explain to you Nigeria is rich. Just that our leaders are mismanaging our resources. Now, if Nigeria is not that rich, you want to service your debt with 90% of your revenue. Why 90%? That means 20%. The remaining 10% will be used for your economy. If 10% of our revenue can actually be used, and we are still going to be okay, why are we borrowing? That's the question. So this will justify my first statement that when it comes to government, you see scam, but when it comes to private sector or individual or masses, then that is when you turn to real system of this country. Now, I am not saying Tinubu is not getting it right by saying that 10% of our revenue could actually help us. This is fantastic statement, the right one, and it is correct. But the fact is, what if we now use 30%? What if we are now using 40%? Let's now assume that, okay, fine, out of 100%, we want to be using 80% and be using 20% to service debt. What will have happened? Why are we borrowing this money? Because the one that we have, we are mismanaging it. That means we are mismanaging 90% of our resources, so that we now go and borrow that 90%. Are you getting it? So saying that we are borrowing that 90%, we will be using the 90% to service debt. Then the one that we are now, the one that we now borrowed, are you getting it, will be used for our politicians. And that is what has been in vogue since 2000s. Since early 2000. And this is what we are saying as youth, that fine, you have tried, you've educated yourself. I am not saying education is not good. I'm also an economist. But the fact is, you clamoring for, I want to have my master's, I want to have my PhD, I want to have my, I want to be an associate professor, you are just deceiving yourself. It has nothing to your life. What adds to your life is what you earn. Now, with this statement, I want to say a big thank you to Tinubu for opening our eyes again. But don't be scared, and don't be don't be over rejoiced about this, because in the next 2-3 months we'll forget about this and we'll still come back to the other statements. We don't have money. We don't have money. Fine. Apart from that, now I said Olamide read something which she asked me the question that the issue of unemployment now compared to this, even the USA that we are talking about, that we are using their standard to rate us, said you must be able to have $1 at least, $1 at least $1 per day, right? Now even you, Francis, you Olamide, calculate. There is difference between hand and giving. Do you know? I have money is different from I earn money. What you are earning now, what you are earning means after you might have removed your transport fare, your feeding, then whatever you have as remaining is what you earned. Are you getting it? What you are earning now is you up to $1 per day.
Well, maybe you may not want to look at it in the light of dollars, but maybe
no. But then this is reality.
Of course, I know what you're talking about. Now, I'm saying if United States says so long as you're earning at least $1, then you bring it to Nigeria and say so long as you're earning a specific amount of
as long as you are earning 700 naira, let's say.
No, that
was my.
We have to equate it because we're actually using the standard.
That was my argument earlier on, that the International Labour Organization cannot say that once you earn the X amount of money per day, then you are employed.
You are employed.
The International Labour Organization cannot say that when you when you work for X amount of hours, then you
number of hours
unemployed. Over there in the developed countries, you can go and work for 2 hours, 3 hours a day, and you are good. In Nigeria here, you are not considered to have done anything if you do not.
That is where we are getting it. That is how we're getting it wrong.
From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So what I'm saying now is, at what point now? Because for me, I see a disconnect here. At what point now can we juxtapose these two scenarios now, whereby when these numbers are coming in from the international organization, we are able to infuse it into our own economic realities.
That is not even resembling the house.
That's what I'm saying now. We are able to infuse it into our economic realities, such that it reflects the true state of an average Nigerian citizen.
Now, thank you, Francis. The issue is this. I've actually said something. I will still repeat it. When it's come to government, you talk about scam. Now, anything that has effect on Nigerians, that doesn't affect the government, we actually infuse it, and we make sure that it works. It is our standard. Are you getting it? But when it comes to government, we don't bring those such things. Are you getting it? You remember when COVID-19 issue came on board, they said that so far America could actually do this, then this will be our standard. All right. Now the standard, now go and check online. The standard is America says, and that is what is it. In America, do we have people that work for 5 hours and will not get 500 naira? I have people presently, I can actually mention up to 40 that are working for good 7 hours in a day, and they are earning as in their wage is not even earning now. Their wages is not even up to 600 naira, and they are working. So what we are now saying is, Nigerian government should forget about using the standard of America for us in this country, because it is not working. I'm just telling you this. I'm on air, and this is not. I'm not a press member here. I'm an analyst. This is not working. So you are using standard of 1 hour. In which of this part of the country will you work for 1 hour and get 1,000 naira? In which part of this country? And in which organization? Unless they want to scam you, they send you 60,000 naira per, per hour. You are lying. So all I know is, until we change our mentality, our orientation about this government, then we are not going to get it right. And that was why when we when they were contesting for 2023 election, I said youth are just waking up, but we cannot get it right 2023 election. And did we? No.
All right. Let's talk about this, because you were discussing earlier and you started talking about something in relation. That's why I'm going to bring this up. You said you talked about 90% of our revenue servicing debt and 10% being enough for us. So there are intrigues and controversies over Nigeria's foreign exchange, foreign reserves rather. And then there's the question that why did CBN borrow $15 billion?
Well, you see that question there. I just want to refer back to what I've said, that there is no way we are not going to be borrowing as long as we have the set of leaders that are greedy and all they want is their pockets.
There's no way we are not going to be borrowing, but is it the NNPC, the CBN, that should be borrowing on behalf of?
When your system is 40, everything is 40. If the head is not good, your neck is not good. If your neck is having issue, forget, you will not have a good head. So if the head is bad. So far the end is bad. Forget. Okay, did we what?
So is
how come?
is that to say the President Tinubu's administration is bad?
I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just telling you, government till this present.
In this administration.
Okay.
To also get
Are you getting it?
Now,
Now,
that means you're also referring to President Muhammadu Buhari.
even not only Buhari, even Jonathan, Obasanjo, because Obasanjo actually started all this thing that we are facing. All this.
But President Obasanjo brought Nigeria's he raised Nigeria's foreign reserve to unbelievable numbers, and he also reduced our foreign debts to.
And what about the system? What about the system he established? Did he establish a system that will continue that? You can actually have your sources. You have a good sources. There's in economics we have sources, non-sources, and good sources. You can only be in the part of good sources if what you have done can continue to increase positively the effects into the life of people. What he tried. Don't forget about it. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo tried, but the foundation he laid was 40, which has brought us to this level. Look at that CPC. Look at all these criminal financial organizations that he established.
All right.
You see that people are now using to themselves.
Okay, now before we go, I really want us to touch on the Minister of Arts and Culture and the youth service she's currently undergoing. You heard our caller earlier saying that you're supposed to actually go through youth service before you get called to bar. So what happened along the line? That in 2001 you said you were initially mobilized and then you didn't finish youth service, and now you're going back for youth service, and she's like 8 months gone now that she's a minister. So she's about 40-something years old, but there's supposed to be a benchmark of 30. So
like myself, I did not serve just because my they actually wrote there that I think that was 2018 when we wanted to go for service. They said I am above 30.
So
but now that is what it is just that you will not understand the fact that law in Nigeria works for masses. Not for those that are in position, not for those that are rich.
And finally, what does this speak to the system? Because this is somebody who is a legal practitioner.
It is just telling you that even our legal system is faulty. It's as simple as that. Okay, forget about it. Somebody that actually said that his primary school certificate is still in question. Secondary school certificate is still in question. Told you that he has university certificates. Are you getting it? And the same person is proving that, right? Are you getting it? Your former president said he has this. Till today you cannot even get any of it, and he was our president. And our law says you even if you have SS3 and SSC that we are talking about, can these people provide it? If they cannot provide it and they are ruling, that means nothing is working. When it comes to law, working for those that have legs, those that are in high position, is only working for the masses, and that is where we are getting it wrong. Or not until, don't forget, another thing is our youths now are now being incorporated into this system to the extent that there is no youth. Okay, don't let me say there's only the number of youth that you can actually approach that will give you the exact thing that you want. Are just like 2% out of this 100%, because all other ones are politically blinded. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dokita Olamide. Thank you for your time on the show today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, viewers, that's where we'll draw the curtains on today's episode of The Press. We hope you join us again tomorrow. I am Olamide Alhassan.
And I am Francis Adeniyi. Do have a beautiful day ahead.